Hey guys, just be a bit forewarned, I do get a bit drunk and unruly here. I was mixing alcohol with some anti-anxiety meds, which I probably shouldn't have done. So don't be like me, be cool, maybe talk to someone if you've got anxiety or depression issues. Don't be a board gamer, don't be an idiot. I just want to apologise to anyone that is affected and is like, look at that idiot. But enjoy, guys. We do talk about some interesting stuff before I get drunk. So take care. Thank you very much, and very sorry.
This episode of Redacted is brought to you by ModMic, who just released ModMic 5, which is totally modular. ModMic 5 delivers performance and flexibility all in one with 2 mics and a single boom. Pretty cool stuff. And Bored's messing with his and making all kinds of clicking and popping noises.
Bored needs a ModMic 6.
I know, he needs a ModMic 6 for him.
Mine's just suddenly broken somehow. I heard it was flexible.
He's breaking his. But exclamation point ModMic in chat for more info on that. What's going on, guys? How are
Not much, man.
Just chilling, bro.
Just chilling?
I've gone rogue today. Rogue board gamer, mate.
He's drinking iced tea. It's just iced tea. Oh,
Fucking love iced tea!
Oh, man.
Good, though. Good, mate.
Oh, I just closed the stream.
I guess we'll start with what you guys went up to. I guess while Twerk's working with his thing there, Bored, I'll start with you. Good sir. What have you been up to this week?
Well, I mean, most of what I've been up to this week is under NDA. You might get like a lot of content creators. You're like, I sure they'd be covering 2.6. Are under NDA, so that's a bit gash. But I've been like working on like a mixture of tutorials and video ideas for next year, as well as lots of guides for this year. To be honest, other than that, and genuinely slightly swelling in more weight from eating as much as I possibly can, not really that much. I mean, I took Monday off, which is really weird. Like, you know when... actually, this is a fucking good point. Both you and Twerk, you stream or do work or do sports or do something. You can't be bored. You can't fucking be bored. You have to be doing something.
Always.
Yeah?
Always.
Now, I had to physically force myself to do nothing. And I could only do that for about 2 hours, and then I had to start writing things. Because I just I can't do this. This is... I'll write stuff that's not directly related to any video I'm doing at the moment. That's a day off now. It's just... otherwise I'm bored. Like, genuinely bored. So if anyone's got any hobbies that they can suggest that's not...
YouTube.
YouTube. Oh, I watched so many videos.
Dude, that's like my life.
You live in such a shitty place
like
for like
reading.
hobbies that I would do though. Like go outside. Well, it's like cold and it rains a lot.
Volcano.
But it's cold and it rains a lot. Like I go outside and like get some sun, you know, see nature, and you just look around and it's like.
I live in a valley. There's foxes and deers near my house. Look, okay, it's not a barren, desolate wasteland in the UK because it's a bit dreary and rainy sometimes. We're not Scotland.
Oh, EU shots fired.
Shots fired, me.
UK shots.
But it's I know what you mean though. Like,
yeah,
it is an effort to work out what to do here. That's not at the touch of a button. Like going out and doing a sport or something. Can't really bothered. I need instant gratification. I'm not talking about my porn. I'm talking genuinely about like anything that I had to do as a hobby would have to be accessible at the touch of a button or super easy for me to do. Now maybe I'm just spoiled because of the modern world. And
yeah, that's not what a hobby is about. Hobbies are supposed to be like time consuming, and you put your love and you work at it, and yeah. Sounds
like a marriage. And not
I don't know. Get into dropping all your money into cars or something.
I can't try.
That's what you need. Get into like photography or some sort of external hobby that makes you learn
photography
shit.
Might be cool.
I've been described a few times as the intelligent one on Redacted. Yeah, I probably have the worst memory out of you, us three.
Wait, what? Who the fuck is calling you the intelligent one?
You're the loud one,
I'm the loud one.
That's just because he turns his mic up louder than the rest of
Yes, the clippy one.
He turns it up so his points can get heard.
It's referred to as the nice one in that comment I was referencing. You're the nice one, Twerk. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm the
I could
nice
see
one?
that. I could see that.
No, it's a nice word for the pussy out of the group.
It is a nice word for the pussy. Like,
Yeah.
Saurus is the edgy one.
I'm the
He's the
asshole. I'm
drummer.
definitely the
He's
asshole.
the drummer.
I'm the drummer.
He's the drummer.
Oh, shit.
I'm the bass player, and Bored's the
Bored's the triangle. Bored's the triangle.
Twerk.
Sometimes he has the maracas.
Yeah.
I've got no rhythm. Oh. Right. I don't know what I've been up to. Star Citizen, probably. It's a Star Citizen podcast. I'm sure
It is a
people
Star
will
Citizen
enjoy
podcast.
us screaming about NDAs and stuff in a minute. What about you, Turk? What have you been doing?
Oh man.
I have been definitely, doing some NDA things. So, everybody knows I'm an Evocati, and Evocati's out. So I've been doing that. I've been working on my stream a little bit, trying to clean up any like bugs and stuff with that. Working on the website like hardcore every day, 7 hours plus, because I don't know how to do this stuff, so it takes me a lot longer to figure things out. So I'm slowly learning. It's fun, and it's moving really close. So I think we're getting really close to actually soon putting what I've been putting my heart and soul into to live. I've
Okay,
been
the
really
website.
sick. Yeah. And then the big thing is this Monday I played this game called Maze. I was watching so a viewer Dagooks told me like you got to play this game Maze. I watched the Steam trailer and I was like what? And then I watched Doc Pasty try to play it, but she had a lot of stream like issues. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna buy this game. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it on Monday. And it might have been the best stream game I've had in like other than Star Citizen ever. We had a ton of people there. The chat was like super active. Everybody was laughing at all the jokes, and it was just like the weirdest.
Watching you do the
funnest
entirety
game.
of that game, or most of that game, Twerk,
I
is
beat the whole game in
because
one stream.
it was unexpected that you were going to have any fun from what appeared to be a shitty game to start with. And then it was just turned out that you had such fun with it. It was silly, and just everyone got involved. It was just stupid. When you used the muffin, you were so happy with yourself. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a good thing. It was just so good to see. I really enjoyed that stream as well, yeah.
Yeah,
It was a good laugh.
it was pretty awesome. So it was a lot of fun, and that stream was fantastic. And anybody that didn't catch it, I first recommend playing it yourself. And if you don't want to buy it, watch either mine or Doc Pasty's VODs, because
We should get
a
your
lot of fun.
we should get that up on your YouTube channel, a cut version of it.
I thought about it, but I kind of want to keep the YouTube channel Star Citizen only. So
Okay.
I thought about doing that, but the non-Star Citizen videos nobody ever watches them. Like I put up Anno 2205 and it just was like a garbage. So I was like, I'm not gonna waste the time cutting it up. If I would put it up there, I'd just put up the whole thing. Fuck it. If you want to watch it, watch it. But I'd rather you just go to the Twitch VOD anyway. But it was a great game. It was a lot of fun. And yeah. So what have you been up to, Saurus?
Right on. So yeah, just Star Citizen, a little bit of Call of Duty. Last week we had the most snow in one day since 1996.
Wow.
And I didn't live here in 1996, so the most snow I've seen since I've lived in BC. So that's been pretty crazy. My power went out.
Been then? Would have been 10 or something, or 11 anyway, or something, wouldn't you?
96.
Yeah.
I would have
I would have
been
been 11.
I would have been 13.
Oh shit, son.
1996 was a crazy. There was a big snowstorm in the Northeast too.
Yeah.
And I remember like being a little kid, and there was the snow was so high, it was like two of me, but like it really wasn't that much snow, but because when you're
just
so
so
little,
little,
things
yeah.
seem bigger, right? So
Yeah.
I remember, that's the memory I have of it.
So that was pretty crazy. My power was out for 3 hours. Luckily, I Yeah,
Off-stream
a tree. No. It was all, yeah, it was off stream. It was at the end of the day. But luckily I'd gone to IKEA like a week or a week and a half before that, and they had a sale on candles, and so I stocked up. So I had a bunch of I have a bunch of decorative and like tea lights and stuff. So I was like, oh well, this is handy. Now I can light the whole place up. So we just sort of hung out and
told campfire stories.
no, watched Netflix because we still had mobile data and our phones and my crazy charger. And then yesterday, I was talking to you guys right before the cast for this. A while ago, I'd raised money for a camera and stuff like that for when I go to conventions and all that other fun stuff. And so I picked up the Hero 5 in the gimbal mount. I think I'm gonna have to still get an external audio thing, like either through a Zoom or like a Tascam or something. But I'm really looking forward to it. Been doing a lot of research on that, and pretty excited to start messing around with that stuff and get the Field Trip Fridays going again, because I am going to be able to stream with that as well when I'm away from my computer with the setup that I have. So yeah, really excited for that. Also want to mention something because I'm getting a lot of messages about this. Yes, this is the podcast time, and this is permanent. This change is permanent.
Yeah.
So we are going to be this early. You may notice that it's probably right now not as busy as it normally is, and that's because we totally expected that. We knew that was going to happen because we are 2 hours earlier than we normally are, and I think most people are used to Wednesdays being a little bit later. So just heads up for that. If you are here out of fluke thinking that it's one of my normal days or whatever, Wednesdays is always the podcast. It'll just be starting at 11 o'clock in the morning, my time, instead of 1 o'clock.
I can get to bed at a normal hour.
Yeah, it just works out really good for all of us.
Yeah,
Bored can get to bed at a normal time. I can actually prepare for my work week after the stream and get to sleep at a normal time. And it's Saurus's normal stream time. So
like 1 o'clock used to be my normal time, and that changed. So there's no real reason for whatever reason we just kept it at that. And I thought for some reason it was easier for one of them, and so we just kept it that way. And then we were talking about it last week, and we were like, no. They're like, we were waiting on you. I was like, oh, I was waiting. I thought it was for you guys. So we were like, oh, it just makes more sense instead of us. Like I just sleep in and then
I was only playing Star Citizen because I thought it was easier to twerk. Let's move on to Civ.
Civ 6. Let's have a Civ 6 podcast.
This fucking Civ 6 podcast. Let's just fucking move over. Easily transferable.
Yeah, but no, I like the time. I hope everybody else does. I think people will get used to it. We'll be good.
Yeah. Also, still looking for feedback on these screens here. For what we should have on the side, if you want to see either screenshots of our logo or maybe a video of our latest played or commands and things like that.
Talking to you guys in chat, he's also talking to me and Twerk because I certainly haven't given him any feedback.
Yes, well, I've messaged you
I gave him
on
some,
Discord.
But now I think I know what you're looking for. So
you see what I'm talking about, where it's like we could put maybe a video beside where the top two cameras are. We could put another one there. Then below that, maybe we could put a logo and maybe your command to bring up all your info. That's sort of what I'm thinking of doing. But if there's anything else for suggestions, guys, do me a favor and put it in the Discord. Just DM myself on Discord, and I'll be happy to take a look at those. And if it's a good idea, I'll implement it. And I'll even give you credit for it.
Oh, shit.
I know, right?
Oh,
it's so kind.
shit.
I'm a generous
WTFOSAURUS.
Yeah.
I won't steal credit for it.
Why don't we jump into the news, and we'll start with the production schedule report.
Yeah, I figured that's a good way to start. As per usual, things change.
Yes.
And as from last week, Evocati pushing from Evocati to the live non-NDA PTU. The target date was between Monday and...
Well, it's still between Monday and the 12th.
We're still in it. Yeah.
So,
So we have
that
5
date
more
hasn't
days.
changed, but the date to live got pushed back from.
Well, no, well, the date for the PTU has also changed. The date to the PTU is between the
5th and the 12th.
the 15th now.
Oh, the 15th. Yeah.
The window's been pushed to the 15th.
Yeah.
Because I
and
guess because the live is the 16th.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the aimed internal date for live release now is the 16th. But it is aimed internal dates, as we all knew with the schedule report. It could be before. That's very unlikely. It's more
It
likely
could
to
be
be
after.
pushed.
Yeah.
But I do think that realistically it will be on the 16th. And I think that because it's probably the last office proper day from CIG before January.
Yeah.
And that's what I'd expect. So they'll polish that build up as much as they can. And it's possible that we might just be left
Is
with...
it though? The 23rd is it's the day before. I wonder when the
They could get another week.
I guess the
Yeah.
guys in the LA office can tell us if they're in chat when
I-
when their last day of work is. But you would think the 23rd would be. And my thought process is when they push it to live, a lot of the times when it goes from PTU to live, there tends to be some issues, and maybe they want to give themselves a week to iron those out before they go.
See, I thought maybe they'd want to coincide it with the holiday live stream on the 16th. But
That-
now you're saying
I think
Maybe-
that's
maybe
definitely.
they'll
I think that this aim date that they have
Is
Is
100%
is
Yeah.
something that they're really gonna push for. like I'm talking like working over the weekends and working a lot of
So,
extra overtime.
Launch time is
because
a big
they wanna
thing
get
for
that.
video games in general. Like a lot of games have this crunch time. Now, I think that's no more true. That's probably the most true of Star Citizen because they have these giant waves where they have to get these things out because the game's not released. So they have to have multiple crunch times a year, especially with like their like expos and their things. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we're gonna. I hope we get it on the 16th. I mean, I fucking hope. Live.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of people are put off from the PTU builds because they don't want to download the game 3 times. They want to download it once and
Yeah.
play it for a while. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough
Or
for
some
the guys,
people
especially
just
those
don't have
guys that have
access to those PTU builds. Right.
plebs.
You're fucking funny. You're funny. Can we go into that? That's a great
Do
transition.
you want to start your rant and then me to support your rant, Twerk?
Yeah.
Okay, here, hang on. Let me
Yeah, are you
make-
getting something ready?
make sure to look at the camera.
So there's been some leaks of the PTO. It's pretty fucking obvious. Everybody knows about it, and it's. I can't stand. I don't understand why I am being punished, and Bored is being punished, and everyone that's in the Evocati is being punished for wanting to be a part of the project in a deeper, more productive way than everyone else, and being a part of Evocati. And like, it's for the people that aren't in Evocati, it's a really great experience. It's really fun. You get direct feedback on the game and what's going to happen and what's going to change and all this stuff. But then, because I wanted to be a part of something special and something nice and something great, I'm getting punished because some fucking assholes on the internet grabbed the build that they're not supposed to be having and showing it on the internet to everybody. And I can't talk about it.
Mhm.
I can't mention it. I can't show it because I wanted to support the game further and be a bigger part of the game than other people. And I don't understand why I'm being punished and why Bored's being punished. And I know this is a thing that just came up kind of recently,
Recently, yeah.
but it's a thing where in my opinion, hold on, like we
Yes.
either have to plug the hole or remove the NDA. It's like, I don't think there's any other choices. You fucking plug the hole or you remove the NDA, and you have to make that choice, and you have to make that choice before 3.0, because I'm going to leave the Evocati if it's not plugged before 3.0, because my community is the most important thing to me, and I'm not doing a service to the people who watch my stream and my YouTube videos or whatever, because
You're going out of your way to
Evocati.
do something else, and you're sort of under
I'm
the
going out
thumb.
of my way to support the game, but if I'm going to get punished for it, I can't be a part of that. So
But
It was enough of
being
a problem on the
Evocati-
podcast, but now it's gone too far. Like this podcast, this whole week's podcast should honestly be a little bit of ATV and showing all the cool stuff from.
Well,
Yeah.
so
From the
as a
leak.
content creator, it's really, really annoying. I want to cover the game starters and warts and all. I really
Yeah.
do want to do that.
Of course.
But obviously, being part of the Evocati is cool. I love the fucking game. And I
Mhm.
want to talk about how much I love certain bits of it. I want to be able to talk about, as an advocate of the game, because I genuinely enjoy it. We're not paid by CIG, although we fucking should be, because we're fucking amazing. Bow, 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 finger guns. Like, it's really annoying that I can't talk about everything. I'm locked under NDA to not talk about patches. But some people are able to talk about them because they've grabbed the files in a way that's annoying and not intended by CIG. But for me, it's like a lot of the Evocati, they love the game. They want to be part of that process of fixing and bug fixing and all that sort of stuff. And that's great. And they have worked their fucking asses off for the privilege of doing that. Now, me, I think I'm quite a lazy Evocati, but I still do some bug reporting. I still try and get an hour in a day to do bits and bobs. Yeah, whatever. Yeah? But a lot of the Evocati have worked really hard to be part of that process and to work on that game. And it's kind of just like a fuck you to them.
it's a fuck you to them more than anybody.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, me and Twerk are annoyed as content creators as well. We're like, well, we could be benefiting by not being part of the Evocati. We've gone out of our way to help out. We've gone out of our way to do some bits and bobs of the Evocati, and that NDA locks us into stuff we can't talk about. But not being part of that means we be able to do more content and be able to talk to our communities more. So they need to do something to make it either that we can talk about it, because we are the people that are good to talk about, even Evocati or whatever. It's not going to damage their company, us talking about that. That's only going to improve stuff. That these leaks will happen. If those leaks happen, who do you want to talk about it? People that have the knowledge and understanding of where the game wants to go, of what we're testing at that stage.
Yeah.
Or some fucking pleb who wants YouTube videos.
Well,
YouTube
we
Like WTFOSAURUS.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, I don't know about exactly who's leaked them and the reasons they've leaked them. So I'm not.
I haven't seen any of the videos. I don't know how they're leaked. I don't care.
Yeah.
Why would I want to look when I've seen everything they leaked in a better light?
Right.
than
Okay,
they
so
have?
I'm gonna. For me,
please do.
this is very much bittersweet. For me, it is right. Like I'm not in the Evocati, and I have been that from the very beginning, and it was I even said to you guys, like, hey, you know, this is gonna whatever, and we can't talk about it on the podcast, and that ship sailed and whatever. But the biggest thing that came to me was, well, I haven't downloaded and implemented the offline build, which I could very much do. It's very easy to do. I have been able to show those videos. I have been able to talk about that stuff with my community. And a lot of people are like, oh, why can't Twerk or Bored talk about this, but you can? And, you know, that's because they're under an NDA that does not allow them to say...
Cautiously respectful of the NDA, so that we're worried about showing some stuff as well.
Right.
It's a worry to us.
I constantly, I don't know what I can say, what I can't say.
Right, and you're always worried about, like, for me, it's not even so much that, it's more of, I'm worried if I accidentally say something, and then if somebody decides to use that against me. But that's why we don't, that's why we don't do anything for the podcast. That's why we're not like, okay, well, let Source talk about everything. Right? Because we could do that. We could just be like, okay, now's my time to talk about what's been leaked. But we don't do that because of, I don't want to get them in shit while they're here doing this.
And you're respecting the whole...
And we shouldn't have restrictions about us covering the game. It's much more... It's basically, I totally agree with Twerk. I will leave the Evocati if they don't fix what's happening. I'm not sure how they should do it or what they should do, but they need to do something. Otherwise, it's beneficial for us and our communities to leave.
I think
that's what I'm worried about.
At
I
the
don't
very
care
minimum,
necessarily about me, but like, there's guys that come in the chat and they can talk about it in this chat, but they can't talk about it in that chat.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I think is reasonable. Now, with the NDA, obviously they don't want to show those builds because there may be things that end up being omitted. Or
damn good reasons.
Or things that come in that are broken and people freak out because it's not implemented 100% yet, or that's not the focus of the testing, or whatever. However, they're also not allowed to say anything. They're not allowed to talk about anything at all. I think that there could be a nice middle ground, and this would be something that would make me join the Evocati, would be something and put my time outside of my stream to go and help benefit the game even more than just helping to advertise it and helping to put more money into it. I'd be willing to do more of the bug testing and stuff like that if I was not restricted by what I was and wasn't allowed to say. And if there were things that were out on like the public Reddit or out in public knowledge already, that I'm not going to get punished to show those things. Because at this point right now, it's out and I'm not under that NDA, so I can do that. But if I was in Evocati, I would be in the same position as Twerk and Bored, and it's not fair. It's just not fair that they're able to say those things.
With the schedule report, they've taken those first steps into being. I mean, that's much more sort of like that's the best thing to happen to open development. That schedule report. The next step for me would be to say, yeah, I mean, let the NDA just start with. We're not allowed to show footage or screenshots. If they really want to lock it down, don't show footage or screenshots, but be able to talk about it. We are genuinely advocates of the game. You're the hand chosen, the Evocati. And the reason they're hand chosen is because they're useful and because they probably enjoy the game. I mean, I'm not talking for every part of the Evocati. Some people are probably just like, I want to get some in-depth knowledge of QA before I get a job in QA.
And really quickly, people are thinking that you
people
apply.
Are being really negative in the, the chat, and I'm sorry.
Don't look at chat. Don't look at chat.
No, they're out to be. People have their opinions.
No, but I think they're misunderstanding.
No. So you
let me go.
No. Just let me finish first. Yes, people don't apply to go to Evocati. They get invited. It is not something that you go out of your way to go to apply. They send you an email. I decline that email. I didn't apply for it and then say, no, I don't want it. They send you an email if they think that you put in the hours and you're helpful on the bug testing and all of that stuff, and then you accept that invitation or you decline it. I just want to make that very clear. It's not something you go out of your way to apply for. At least it wasn't for the first wave.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of, so just leave Evocati. You're just a streamer, and streamers shouldn't be an Evocati. So you're telling me because I'm now look at it the other way. Because I'm a streamer, I can't be a part of something that is really fun, beneficial for the game, something I actually really enjoy doing, and because some fucking prick downloaded the game somehow and is showing it out on the internet, then
it's a little bit different to that. Obviously, as a content creator, you shouldn't have access to Evocati just because you're a content creator or anything like that.
Right.
It should be you're chosen for Evocati because you're aiding the game. You're a QA tester that volunteers. That's exactly what that should be about. But the issue isn't with the fact that you want to leave Evocati because you're a content creator or anything. It's because someone else has got around the Evocati thing, someone else has got around the Evocati thing. They've been able to grab the files. Now,
the perfect example is right now. There's all the videos on all the ships that are available. I've seen some parts of the different missions. I've seen a lot of the new features. We all know Star Marine's in there, right? Star Marine's in there. We've all seen Star Marine outside of the official streams and stuff like that. They're not allowed to talk about it. I am allowed to talk about it. There's nothing they can do to stop me from talking about it because it's out on the Reddit and I'm not under the NDA, right? But they're not allowed to talk about it because they're under the NDA. But the information is still in the public and is still already out. But they are worried about getting in shit for doing it, and that's what the issue is. It's not that they want to show the Evocati stuff. It's they want to be able to talk about it when their chat continues to bring it up, when everybody else knows about it and it's already out in the public. That's what the issue is.
Some of the issue is very specific to Evocati content creators. So I mean, it's me and Twerk in this particular situation going, this is really unfair. And we should just leave the Evocati because of that. And people are totally entitled to your opinions. If you think that we should leave the Evocati, if you have a polar opinion or whatever. And we are just talking about our feelings on the subject. So you don't have to totally agree. And that's fine.
Yeah,
totally fine.
It is.
Talk about it. That's all good. It's just understanding how we're feeling at the moment might be different to how you're feeling. You might just go, well, it's a really simple really simple choice of just leaving the Evocati. We want to be part of the Evocati. We love bug testing. We love understanding those builds. We want to be part of this fucking amazing thing.
I would love to give feedback and like all of that stuff on those early stages. I would fucking love it. I love doing it. I love it when devs come in and I can bounce ideas back and forth. And we've seen, like, this channel, anybody who's been around has seen the effects that we can have directly on the game in between the streamers or the viewers and devs. And being able to be an Evocati just gets you that much closer to helping implement some of those things that you think work.
We're not Star Citizen content creators because we love money. So you could make a lot of money by doing a different game, something popular at the time, something that gets fuck tons of views. Dota 2, League of Legends. If we put all our focus on that, I'm just looking at my boobs. I think that I could probably, like, a lot of Diablo 3 originally for me made me loads. It gives me loads of views on my YouTube. I don't enjoy that. I enjoy Star Citizen. I want to be a Star Citizen content creator. I understand it, enjoy it, love the direction of it, want to be part of that. So I want to be part of Evocati. I just want to be able to talk about things.
Yeah.
See, I don't.
Well, the thing is, you only want to be able to talk about it. You only want to be able to talk about it if it's already out in the public. It's not like it's not that we would all be wanting to talk about it if it wasn't already out there. But this is stuff that's out there. It's very prominently on the front page of the Star Citizen subreddit. It's not even like it's hidden on some little, like, little meta Reddit that 20 people, 100 people, 1,000 people know about. It's right on the very front page of the normal Reddit. It's blatantly obvious. People are linking the YouTube videos and images everywhere. And they're not allowed to talk about it. And it's not that they want to push that content out. It's either plug the hole, like Twerk said.
Yes, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yes,
I don't care.
Or allow us to talk about it.
It's a thing where you have to plug that leak because it's not beneficial to the testing. I think people are looking at me like, oh my God, he can't talk about it on his channel. Like, guys, I'm very happy with the size of my community. I'm very happy with the amount of views I get on my channel. I'm not really worried about that. Okay, I'm very happy with what I have, and it's not that at all. It's that I'm a part of the Evocati, and I feel like it sucks because it's not helping the testing when you're showing things that aren't done. And the whole point of the Evocati and the whole point of the NDA is to focus the testing, not to hide it from you. Not to do anything like that. It's just to focus the testing on the PTU issue council, so the devs can help it out. It's that plain and that simple, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Is that it needs to be plugged. It's not that I need to be able to talk about it. Well, that's the fucking point I'm trying to make.
And that is the correct position to be in. Yes. But as a spoilt child that I am, I just find it unfair, and I am throwing my toys out of the pram sometimes. I find that shit unfair, and I'm like, well, I do want to talk about it. I want to get some of those fucking views. I mean, I don't want to be a total dick. And if no one was able to do it, that would be fine. If everyone was able to do it, that's fine. Sometimes I just see stuff like looks unfair to me, and I throw my toys out of the pram, and I'm a little bit motivated by my anger at the Evocati at the moment because of that. But you're right, Twerk. I mean, you're literally. Yeah. Sometimes I look at you and I think you're my moral angel. You're on my shoulder, going, yeah, Bored. You do want to make.
Well,
money
I mean,
on your channel.
technically,
you
you're both.
Don't want to be a dick. Don't be a dick.
I mean,
okay, Twerk.
Right.
Don't be a dick.
Technically, you guys are both right? Like you're saying, I want to be able to. If some people are going to be able to talk about it or show it, everybody should be able to talk about it or show it. And Twerk is basically saying. Nobody should be talking or showing it at all. And so the problem is it needs to be one or the other. It can't be halfway in between. And right now what's happening is it's halfway in between. So they're not able to talk about it or show it because they're worried about whatever NDAs they're under specifically for that Evocati content. Whereas other content creators are able to talk about it and show it because they aren't under that NDA for that content, and they're not going to be able to put people under that NDA for that content because that's their own fault for those leaks getting out there. Even though it's not like it's an Evocati putting it out there, right? If that was the case, then we would probably be having a lot different discussion about this, because then it would be like, okay, they need to find a way to target those evil cutties that are putting it out there. What's happening is people are getting these offline builds through the launcher that don't even need to be in the PTU. They're able to get their workarounds, and they might not even be in the PTU, and they're able to work around and get those things. So that's something that I don't know if it's fixable until we get the new launcher, or if that's something that is even fixable after we get the new launcher. I have no idea, but it's something that definitely needs to be addressed, and can't really continue the way that it's going, because you're going to see all of your content creators, who are the people who spend the most amount of time in this game, get out of the evil cutty and to stop helping out with that. And I think that that's a valuable resource, especially for the people that are willing to put in their own time on their own, outside of their channel and stuff. I know how much time streaming or content creation takes. And for me to put time aside to go in and do specific testing for things at specific times, and I'm just going by what we do in the PTU, right? But doing specific testing at specific times to work on specific bugs and give feedback and all of this other stuff, that takes time. And it's not like, they're doing that for the glory of it. It's not like they're able to show that content or anything like that. And I feel it's really important that it needs to be figured out sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
That
being
being
make
said,
the effort to plug the leak, or there has to be some terms of service, because this person is not supposed to have this data, right? These people are not supposed to have this thing, and they have it, and then they're broadcasting it to the world. So there has to be some sort of issue with
general,
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really know any of this. But
leaks in general, so like the Lando leak and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your views on the leaks in general for Star Citizen? Would you cover those leaks?
No, I didn't cover Lando's, and maybe I covered Lando's because that was kind of different. But I would never cover them.
I recently covered Lando's leak. From
Proxy said,
ago.
"Stop calling it a hack."
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how it's happening. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Obviously, we don't understand. It,
yeah.
A workaround?
Yes, that's what it is. It's a workaround.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, you're not supposed to have it, and you do. Is how I look at it. Yeah.
But it's not a breaking. It's not a breaking of terms of service, as I understand it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It might be. Just not as I understand it. Let's be clear. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But I think this is important. So I love the fact that on our little podcast that we can talk about shit like this, and we can be quite polarizing. People don't necessarily need to agree with us on this sort of subject, but it's important that we can talk about this. And I would like to be able to talk about specifics of patch notes and things that we can't talk about at the moment because of NDA.
Yeah. I think that we've spent a fair enough amount of time on that. I think everybody understands that all three of us are all on the same page about this.
Feel free to ask questions about what we were just talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Exclamation point question in chat if you guys have any questions about anything.
Immediately deleted though, because obviously there's some stuff we can't answer.
Do understand, that they are still under NDA. So there are some things that they're not going to be able to answer. Or I will refuse to answer for this podcast.
But at the moment, Saurus, you are the smartest man here by far, because you did not go into the Evocati NDA as a content creator. I'm talking about as a content.
Yes, yeah, and I mean, like I said, it's bittersweet because I would love to be in there, and I would
said, "Tell us the NDA things." Doubt CIG is watching; they're too busy. Forget them.
yeah. Doubt they're watching. I'm glad I can talk about it, but fuck, I would love to be playing. I would love to be given that feedback, like more than anything in the world. But I saw it a mile away, and I couldn't.
I knew too, but I still wanted to be a part of it because I mean, exactly.
I know what I'm like, and I didn't want to jeopardize what I've built. I guess like it's like I don't talk about.
We're not even sure we can talk about having fun. Me and Twerk aren't.
I don't even know if I could say if
Are
I
we
had
allowed
fun or
to
if I
having
didn't.
fun or not having fun during a build? Are we able to say that? Are we able to giggle and look at each other like, yeah, yeah, that thing you did? Like, are we? What, it's really annoying. Like, we want to. Fuck you. Fuck you,
No.
NDA. Nada. We're gonna call it nada. Fucking nada.
Yeah. But anyways, we are going to move forward here. Let's talk about new asteroid tech.
Oh, dude. Okay, so this was my favorite part of.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this was
you're gonna say
in.
your favourite
this
part,
was in the
and then
last-
I'm gonna shit all over your favorite part after you're done. Come on.
Okay.
This is my favorite
Yeah.
part of the ATV because they showed us what yellow was like in 2.0, and there was like 2 rocks, and then they
Yeah,
showed
there
us
was like
what-
2 rocks.
there was like 2 fucking rocks, and then they and okay, part of my favorite part is Luke Presley frequents my chat, and
Oh, there he is, right there.
this was Luke's,
Look at
this
his
was Luke's
face.
segment. I love Luke. Luke's a great guy. And you know, this was like his thing. And he was like saying in the chat, like, oh, I'm gonna be on ATV this week. You're gonna like it. And it the especially the parts where they showed the rocks turning a little bit and the ship flying through it, it's feeling good. There seem to be procedural because they kind of like pop in, right? So it's like the one thing the point that I put in the doc that I really want to make sure that we make. I don't think this is that voxel tech where we're mining them or anything yet, but this is the real start of asteroid fields for the game in the future. This is the tech they need to make the game amongst
the
multiple.
next step.
Yeah.
This is the next step from what they're doing before we get to the voxel mining asteroids.
Yes.
But obviously this is a needed step because this is one of the things they wanted asteroids to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, like having them like rotate, move around, and be able to make. Now this is the one asteroid ring we have right now, which is in yellow. But this is a system that's going to be able to put in full asteroid links, much like that would go around the whole orbit of a star. Which is much larger than
Before
this.
we continue, what I didn't like about this was that when they were showing some of the videos, all of the asteroids were moving. All of them.
Yes.
Like, it was just like...
and they were all moving at the same speed.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Well,
yeah.
But then he said that the bigger ones, like the size of the asteroid depends on how fast it'll move.
Yeah.
So maybe that was a piece that wasn't in just yet. But he did say the smaller asteroids will rotate faster, and then the larger will rotate slower, and then eventually the big ones really won't rotate at all, or they won't rotate because they're going to put bases on them.
Someone will know in chat, and stuff doesn't have to be 100% physically accurate.
Of course
to make me
not.
happy about the game.
It does, otherwise I'm out.
No, so would those asteroids rotate, or would they just revolve? Like, wouldn't they just revolve around the planet or this moon they're on and not rotate much? I mean, I understand a little bit of rotation occasionally, but it'd be extremely slow on some of them, maybe.
But some of them would be fast.
Would they?
Yeah.
Would they just hit each other, maybe?
Yeah, like because you got to think they're always like, okay, in real life, asteroids aren't that close to each other, right? They're
exactly
nowhere.
not.
It's a
They're
game
not.
thing.
They're like literally millions and millions of kilometers apart. But
Or at least far enough away that you wouldn't be able to see them very well.
right, you wouldn't be able to see them. Period. That's why we don't have problems sending out satellites and things like that going through the asteroid. It's very difficult
See,
to get
that's
hit by.
different within a ring of a planet if there's
Right,
asteroids or
right.
a broken moon there, or
Right.
there's rings there.
Right. So then say Jupiter or something. I'm thinking of the larger one.
Exactly.
However, for the way that the game is made, you would also think like you have asteroids coming in and getting pulled into that gravity field. That's why it's there. That's why I imagine it's from one or two or several larger bodies of larger asteroids or planets or planetoids coming together and creating those rings. And so they would have some momentum and they would continue to spin, I would think.
Saturn, sorry.
Yeah, Saturn.
Someone said
what did-
Jupiter in chat as a question.
Oh, did I say Jupiter?
Jupiter.
Yeah,
Jesus
Saturn.
1
Whatever.
million people tell us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But anyways, that's what my point is. My point is that that they would maintain some momentum still with that. So yeah, you would see some things that would be moving at different speeds, and
It's just because we saw them all moving,
Yeah.
it made me feel sick.
yeah, because they're all moving at the same time and they look very synchronized. I think they did talk about how they were going to be at different speeds, and we should definitely
yeah.
wait to see what that looks like. But all in all, it was very cool.
Yeah, and then they showed those big like dusty ones. They're,
Yeah,
like the big rocks with the dust around them. That's where he said there would be like pirates at, and
yeah, those are the
additional
more
gameplay.
hand-placed ones.
And
right?
those were hand placed and
Yeah.
static, whereas the other ones kind of procedurally pop in. And yeah, so it's nice to see them working on stuff like that because it's the push to 3.0.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So
None of
Yeah.
us are assuming that 3.0 comes out this year anymore, are we?
no. Hell no.
No, I don't think it's a possibility, right?
It's
With
2.6
with-
isn't even
with
in
2.6
PTU, so how is
isn't
that
in-
a possibility?
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
yeah,
So,
Yeah.
2.6
obviously
aimed for the 16th. Even if they made it, even if it went to live this week, there's no way I think they could get 3.0 out. I
It
I
would be
don't.
on the schedule report, wouldn't it? It would be on
Yeah.
the schedule
Oh,
report.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is.
So it'd be
I'm
coming
gonna
to
say
you.
this
It'd be
right
like
now.
3.0. Ooh. It's like they
I
want to
very
show that
much
benefit.
expect as soon as this is off of the PTU and into live, I still expect schedule updates because they're still going to have those internal dates and everything for what the next patch is
So
Yeah.
this is
on the
beauty of what
Friday.
we do at
And I
Redacted,
expect that to be
what we do as
coming
content
out.
creators. We can hold CIG to that because we will continuously complain until they do that. They have to keep that schedule. report.
I like to think that we're one of the reasons that they implemented it in the first place.
Well, I think it's the community as a whole, but yeah, I hope so. Like, that would be.
I really
beautiful
hope
if we
so.
have actually some. I mean, that's why I want to be part of open development. That's why I love
Mm.
Star Citizen. That's why I want to be a content creator and a player of the game. I mean, I love this stage of the game. I mean, we on your stream a while ago, Saurus, we were talking to one of the CIG devs, and then they implemented those changes to Korea
Yes.
with alcohol.
Yeah,
stuff.
and
I mean,
that's-
that kind of direct involvement's amazing to me because I'm like, wow.
Like, what other projects do you have that involvement with? And
I talked directly to Chris Roberts about the flight changes.
People are like, "Oh, is this game been released yet?" It was like, "Well, you're not. You don't want to be part of this sexy process right now."
yeah.
Hmm.
What did we have next on the dock here? We had
knows, mate?
the new camera
I can't
tech.
even read.
I'm so upset. It doesn't even matter right now.
The issue I have with the camera tech stuff,
Yeah.
is that I would love to do a video on it, but the video they did with ATV, the 5 minutes of video, was
Mhm.
so clear and concise.
Oh, it's perfect.
Out the camera
Yeah.
controls.
Board is mad, but this is what you do,
They
Board.
actually are
This
good
is Board.
at
This
their
is what you
videos.
do.
They're
You
getting better,
introduce.
Board. You're irrelevant.
You
That's why
introduce
he's
the
moving
clip.
to Twitch.
No, this is what he's got to do. This is what he's
Make
got to
it-
do. Board, you cut out just this section. You introduce this clip. Yeah, they do a really good job of talking about this. Here's the clip. Watch the clip and be like, yeah. So this is what I think about it, and then that's it. Done.
Okay,
It's
done.
like the easiest video you'd ever have to make.
And I did do that video. I did do that video, released a part of one. I mean, so if they start doing stuff like this is great for me because I can talk about the news and I can literally just put in their clip and go straight from the horse's mouth. This is better than I could do, and
Yeah.
that's what I want from CIG when they're explaining mechanics with key bindings. This
Yeah.
is fucking the best.
This is
stuff they've
amazing.
done ever. Jeez, man.
I'm really excited for this too. It looks so good. And the
The-
ability to lock those in for the different numpads and everything, and
You can
remember
make
that?
a movie,
Yeah.
and like a director can be like, cut the camera through, like it just like, what?
Red
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
But-
Red one, yeah. And like today we did something on the stream before. Unfortunately, Twitch had some issues. Somebody asked to see a Starfare this morning.
hmm
So I opened it, and I did it in my hangar. But then Terrellian hadn't seen it yet, and I think he got like a new computer and he gets better frames now. So he wanted to see it with good frames. So I bring the Starfare in.
Why is the graphics card? It could have been anyone
Yeah,
at Redacted called BoredGamer.
yeah.
Could have.
Could have been
Yeah.
anyone.
So we're showing him, and I happened to go out on where the arm is, the refueling arm. I don't know what to call that. Like it's not a bridge, obviously.
Trellis work.
The lattice work or whatever in the back.
Yeah, sure.
The
So I'm
walkway.
The walkway. Walkway is a good one. So
The
I'm out on the
plank,
walkway.
if you're a pirate.
The plank. So we're out on the plank, and we're looking out, and we're looking at Crusader. And I was Halal was flying the ship, and I was like, Halal, why don't you take off and just bring us around? And like 5 of us just sat on the plank and just looked out. Imagine having these camera controls while doing that.
But that
It's
particular
so cool.
thing was amazing because you were in a firefight at the same time, a dogfight.
Yeah, and then we got into a fight.
And then you were like, guys, it's fine. Halal's the pilot. He's actually a good pilot.
Yeah, if I was flying. So
Yeah.
I didn't even move. He kills the guy, we're good. We just go land at Grimhex.
It was a 15-minute dogfight in a Starfire. That's the sort of shit I love. We can do that
Yeah.
even in 2.5. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
That
a
was-
bunch of guys just came and hung out, and I mean we literally did nothing other than just look at the beauty of the game, and these camera controls are going to take that and just make it 10 times
Honestly, like when we're in these sort of limbo moments, and right now a lot of the people who normally play are in the Evocati, so they're not playing when I'm playing. That's what we do, is we just look at the beauty of the game, and I just mess around in third person and use different camera angles and stuff like that. And being able to do this, being able to redo things like our org video that I made, and do stuff like that with, you know, more stable frame rates and more control over the camera and more ships in the game and all of that other stuff. I'm looking forward to it as a content creator for sure.
In 2.5, did you know
just playing the game.
you could glitch into the hangars at Grimhex?
Did you what?
I tried. I've tried.
Glitch into the hangars at Grimhex.
I didn't know that, but you're gonna have to show me right after this
I will. And
podcast.
one of my viewers, Galen, showed me, and I was like, oh. He was like, you
Okay.
get into this little armpit, then you're in the hangar. I was like, oh wow, these are the actual hangars.
Okay, yeah, you'll have to
They
show
were
me
like,
because
Oh,
I've tried that.
It's an empty hangar, but
Yeah.
you look at it and go, this could be a hangar.
It's
And then it's obviously super glitchy. I mean, you're looking around,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
looking around, like the bottom textures are invisible, but the top textures aren't, so you can like see through Grimhex and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
But the areas in Grimhex that you can see are there to be built upon.
Well, there's other
And-
rooms that I know you can go into that I've gone into in Grimhex
Yeah,
that
yeah,
are
exactly.
locked
There's
off.
it's that sort of glitchiness, but you go, well, this room is going to be filled one day. So as soon as we get 2.6, like live, whatever, I'm going to be, or wider PTU, I'm going to be glitching the fuck out of that.
Mhm.
Has this been changed? Has this been added to? Is this where they
Yeah.
put something else?
Jumping really quickly back to the camera tech, how did you feel about what they're doing with the specific camera controls, like holding the F4 with the numpad and things like that? Is that something that you expected? Is it something that you think
I
could
think it
be
makes
improved on,
sense.
or it makes sense?
I think it makes sense because of what he said in the video was, well, everybody already uses F4 to switch the camera, so let's build on that. Just like the whole game right now, they're building on the base of what they had
There
originally.
are questions I have for this.
Okay, go.
I love the idea. I love what they've done with the cameras.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have to mess around with them. There are some things that I need to know answered, and if they're not answered, well, even if they're answered, they need to do. So they need to make.
I thought
those
their video was perfect.
They need to make those saves persistent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They need to make them
'Cause
shareable.
crashing.
Shareable. So saved to a file. I can go. I want to share that with Twerk17 because that's my
That's my
cinematic
camera
view
1,
three
camera 2, camera 3.
for
Yeah.
the Gladius.
Yeah.
So you can make maybe you can make.
So you
them
could have
specific
someone
per
sitting in the
ship.
background just playing director.
That'd be
Are they specific per ship, per player model, per loadout, all that sort of stuff?
I don't
Um,
think so. So I would be happy as long as you can save them. I'm not even talking about being able to give those
can't
files to
save
someone
them,
else.
Are they persistent
No, but like
saves?
persistent. Yeah. So like when I rotate around to a specific angle or a certain zoom in or out, I need that to be persistent and not. So when I log out of the game and I log back in, that camera angle is the same no matter if I'm on foot or in a ship or whatever. I agree with you on that. I don't think, at least for the first implementations, we're gonna see any sort of like files or anything like that. It's a possibility.
Another thing I desperately want is the ability to turn them off in matches. I want to do a private match of a game, or I want to do a
Yes.
public match of a game, but I also want to make sure that there's no one that's spectating or using camera angles to cheat.
Yes.
Cheat.
So I was actually going to go into that.
And Matt Sherman already went into it too.
Yeah.
So
Oh, did he? I didn't realize he had.
a little
And-
bit. I think he was preemptively saying that, like thinking that you were going to go with this, or he was responding to someone in chat. He said, "There's still work that can go on with the cameras to mitigate any potential abuse, like anything within the game. Plenty that will be continually iterated on." So
Yeah.
but Saurus, go ahead.
Like they
Sorry.
could make it so in public matches you can't use anything but first person, right? They could, and then in private matches, maybe they could just allow it for the time
Give
being
you rules?
until they implement those rules in there. So maybe private matches you can use it, and public matches you can't, or whatever. I mean, even if like we know that you need the HUD, and I've played in third person before, you can't shoot anybody, but it does give you an advantage seeing people coming at you before they can see
Round
you.
corners and stuff. You can literally
Right,
use it to
right.
round
So
corners,
say-
look up above
Right.
like surfaces you wouldn't be able to look
Because
at.
it's
Right.
it's straight up free cam is what they said on the
And if you're in
on
a
HB.
clan and you
Yeah.
have someone that's literally
That
even
could
if they're
be
dead
more
for 20
beneficial.
seconds,
That could be more
Yeah.
beneficial than having the 2 feet on the ground with, and that's not what you want.
any
And I'm
game
sure
that
they
can be
know that.
exploited in pro
I ju-
play will be.
And I don't, once again, I don't think we're going to get that on the first implementation of it. They want people using it. They want
It's
people
fine.
doing all of
That's
that
fine.
for sure. And I'm very confident in CIG is aware that that is something that will need to be implemented later on down the road. Just a questions reminder for everybody, ! Questions in chat. Bored, I sent you a message on Discord, but if you could post the monthly giveaway link in chat, that would be fantastic.
Oh shit! It's
Yeah,
like-
'cause I've been
just drawn
asking for that.
ASCII penis.
Yeah. So that we also have our t-shirts for Redacted, which I want to remind everybody of right now. Let me just pull this up here. So all the t-shirts for Redacted are on sale right now for $14. So if you wanted to go pick up one of these and support not only the podcast but the team, this is the place to do so right here. And I'm sure one of the mods will throw, I forget what the command, oh yeah, I forget what the command is for that in chat. So just throw one of the links in chat for that, or Twerk, if you could do that, that would be fantastic.
Gotcha.
And also our Patreon we have here, which is helping towards go to the website and all of the other stuff
And supporting
for the team
the giveaway.
and supporting the giveaways that we do every month and stuff like that.
And I would like to say that anyone that has given to the Redacted Patreon recently, you made Twerk incredibly fucking happy because he was like, "Oh my god, we can get off Skype soon and get some sort of proper program for the fucking podcast."
Which,
like-
knock on wood, is actually working good today.
It is.
Nobody's stuttering. It's
You
amazing.
fucking ruined it.
Mhm.
You ruined
I'm
it.
so sorry. Well, I did say
You know what-
to
you know
that
what?
easier is better.
You know what
I
it may have
prefer
been?
Skype, but that's just me.
And I'm prepared to take full responsibility for this. This is something I didn't cover
no, so-
in
I mean, that
my
Patreon stuff is super appreciated because
It
the
is.
website costs mainly Twerk time and effort, but obviously all of us like money. And we want to build a community. We want to build a website. We want to build a load of random stuff as part of that Star Citizen community.
Yeah.
And having that money there genuinely helps rather than making us go, "Oh, this is really hard and stressful, and I don't know what's the bottom." NDA or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Fuck
And then
that
we
NDA.
get fired.
my computer almost died like 3 times in the last week.
How? Yeah, everything. I
Right?
forgot to ask you right away.
What was that
Everything
about?
is good.
Everything's
We're good
good.
now?
So I
Yeah,
just
okay.
Like I was?
So yeah, I replaced. So I took my whole streaming PC apart. I took some air to it. It was a little dusty. It wasn't too crazy though.
Yeah.
Because I just cleaned it a couple months ago, and I was like, okay, the pump was working fine, the fans were working fine. So I was like, I don't know what else it could be. Maybe I have never replaced the thermal paste, but I haven't on any of my other computers, and they're all still fine.
Yeah.
So I'm
why
like,
would you-
okay, maybe it's dried out. So I
Is that a thing?
I pulled it apart. It wasn't dried out. I wiped it off, cleaned it up, put in some new thermal paste. It was the same exact thermal paste I used. I still have it. Put it together, and temperatures were 30 degrees less. And so I was like, all right, great.
It's possible that the heat sink was at a little angle or an air bubble had formed.
Or an air bubble had formed. That's right.
The only thing I can think of, but that's very hard.
Yeah, it may not have been
So
seated
should
properly.
I
If your
put my
if your
H100
temperatures
eyes
are
on
fine,
and that's it.
if
And
your
I left it
temperatures,
thinking I'd be fine.
yeah, if your
It will be
temperatures are
fine.
fine, they're fine. Like my
Just
my other
monitor every
computer,
now and then.
my other
so
two
use a
are
program
fine.
called HW Monitor. Just
I
run
use
that.
cheap or something. Real temp. It's all
I
the
don't know
same.
what you're talking about. Use HW Monitor because it's about your EPing.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to be part of this community, Twerk. Okay, you don't understand how computers work. Don't look at me like that. You've seen my ASCII cock.
Yeah. No, I needed to
Now.
zoom in to 200% to see it.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Yep.
I'm not buying any of your t-shirts anymore, mate.
All right.
Yeah.
Buy the new
Fuck
first. It's okay.
Yeah, okay, we'll buy the new first.
Moving forward onto StarMarine audio.
So I mean, obviously, we're actually, this is a beautiful thing. Actually, we're all sponsored by Loot Crate. So 10 seconds of commercial time. So we've all had the latest Loot Crate, yeah?
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing in it?
The Titanfall 2 shirt. I have Loot Gaming. I don't have regular Loot Crate.
No, the latest Loot Crate.
I don't have it yet.
You don't have the latest Loot Crate then? No.
I don't have the space one yet.
No, this isn't the space one. This is the mythic one.
Oh, I don't have that.
Oh, yeah.
Loot Gaming space this month.
So do you have the mythic?
That came with. I get all of them. Is that the one that came with a notebook? Yeah, and that thing that was really cool. Yeah, it was the notebook and that. It came with
This one came with an Assassin's Creed T-shirt, which is becoming.
Oh, I have that.
Yeah, that's the gaming one.
Yeah, I got that.
Quick gaming.
Sorry, I did get. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm behind. Thinking back to the one before. I did get that.
This fucking thing. Okay, this is not a reason to buy a Loot Crate. This is a reason to I don't give Loot Crate to someone else. This is the cutest fucking thing ever. Have you played a comic? Oh,
I've never played it, but I thought I really liked it, even though I've never played it. I knew what it was.
Such a beautiful game, man.
I'm gonna have to now.
Oh yeah, fuck it. So this is one of the things I was talking to you about before the podcast. Like maybe we should occasionally, as an extra thing to our streams, do like console games. Maybe. Like, I'm interested in PlayStation VR, and I'm interested in some of the like Dead Stranding.
I want to play NHL.
Okay, yeah.
That's the only reason I want a console.
Well, I used to play that all the time on Mega Drive, like all the NHL and all those sports games.
Blades of Steel. Yeah.
Blades of Steel.
It's a Nintendo game. It was the Nintendo hockey game.
Oh, I didn't play that, mate. It was all Mega Drive for me, mate.
All right, let's talk about Star Citizen.
Yeah, sorry.
StarMarine audio update.
I mean, it's awesome. The audio guys are fucking fantastic. I don't want to take away from them. They talked over it the whole time, though. Did you notice that on this one? The audio guys talked over the audio the whole time. But dude, the amount of time and effort they put into the finest little details, little bings and bangs and gas and
bings and bangs.
Beep, boop. Yeah, it's awesome.
Beep, boop.
Yeah. So I don't think there's too much to add to the StarMarine audio update because it's audio. There's not much to show.
I'm the worst content creator of Star Citizen about audio. Like, I'm partially deaf in my left ear. I don't give a fuck about audio as long as I know where sounds are coming from and as long as they sound relatively good.
Yeah.
That said, I do really enjoy some music. Like, I love Pedro's music. I love the dynamic music system. The only thing they did right in No Man's Sky, in my opinion, in the original No Man's Sky, was the music. Their music was good. Like,
I don't remember it because I was so just disappointed in the gameplay.
You might disable it immediately because you're a content creator. That's
when I switch to different games, I always listen.
I remember I listened to it. I think I vaguely remember it being good, but I was so pissed off at the game being shit.
Yeah.
That I was just like, I'm just getting my 119 minutes in, and then I'm out of here.
119 minutes in. Yeah, so you get a refund. Yeah,
that's
of course.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Sean Murray. So what we're talking about?
Sorry. Well, we were talking about StarMarine audio update. I'm really interested to see the new logic system. I would really love to be able to play with the sounds and the music of the game in the background, always going and adding to the tension or adding to the atmosphere of the entire game. I think that would be really awesome.
I think though there's a way that becomes a benefit to you. So like
Well,
if
it becomes a necessity, to be honest.
yeah,
Like,
so if the dynamic music system becomes so good that it is literally about to read situations better than you are, that you go, there's an audio cue to know that I might be in combat in a second.
I need to pay
well,
attention. Something just
don't
happened.
know if I want that. I don't know if I want it to foreshadow things like that. I was looking at it more of the thing, for example, and I was talking about this last month.
It can't foreshadow things like
of
that.
a completely different perspective. When I'm on the front page, I'm not allowed to play any content copyrighted music. So for me, instead of playing music at all, right, I could go and do non-copyrighted stuff or whatever. And that's just for the front page. It's not for whatever. But it would be a lot more awesome to be able to highlight and showcase the game and whatever as it is and all of that other stuff. And with the new music logic system and everything like that, it's going to be a lot easier to do that than if it were for me to do it without that. Now, if for whatever reason, it's buggy or it didn't work or it wasn't in there, there are other things that I could do. But for that specific thing, and this is something that's happening starting next week for me, I need to find a way to do that. So I would love to be able to just play with just the game audio, music, and background noise and all of that stuff there. So there is necessities, like I said, outside of the game. But within the game, yeah, it brings you in, and even if we disagree on the foreshadowing thing, it does add to the atmosphere, it does add to the environment, and it does add to the overall experience. And I think it's something that's just... It's really important, and it's something a lot of people really look over, I think, to be honest.
I think it's going to be great. The more I see, especially the guy with the neck tattoo, I always forget his name, but every time he's on ATV, it's just like
call him Firebird.
You could hear his passion and his love for what he does, and because of that, the amount of work and detail he puts into everything.
You get that from Josh Coombs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But he's so chill at the same time. It's like,
Yeah.
so you're like, guys, the new Herald's going to change everything.
This is a game changer.
it's just so chill.
It's gonna be a game changer.
He said that about the Cutlass, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a
He's
game
right,
changer.
though. He's right, though. It is. Everything Drake's going to be a game changer because Drake is the best.
Damn right. Damn. I'll cheers to that.
Nah.
Fucking cheers to that. I mean, you're totally right with that. I hate pirates, but I love Drake. I mean, they're thrifty as fuck. I mean, they're giving us ships that we need and what we want.
Yeah.
Let's move on to they talk next about flight balance. So I'll
Let's talk
pull the
more
video.
about it, right? Because we've been hearing about it for a while now.
This
So
is a more official flight balance of what's actually
Yeah.
going to be in 2.6.
yeah,
And does allow us not to break NDA, but allows us to talk about stuff that's actually in the fucking game.
yeah,
It's going to be in the game with knowledge about it. So, I mean, they're halving all fucking SCM speeds. They're merging cruise mode into SCM. So we're going to have that with boost, with afterburner now.
yeah.
So you press your shift key. You can go all the way up from your normal SCM speed, of whatever it's going to be like in Aurora, like 90 or something, all the way up to your cruise speed, and then releasing that will still drain your afterburner fuel, but it's not going to reduce your speed anymore. So you're going to be going at that max speed, that cruise speed, and that's how they want dogfighting to be, basically.
So
now.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to do that in Arena Commander. You're going to be able to do that in the Persistent Universe. So it's an interesting dynamic because you have to manage your boost fuel. You have to manage your afterburner fuel, and you're going to be able to boost with that as well. So,
I have a question for you about that. Now, for me, the way that I picture it in my head, it shouldn't be burning any more fuel once you're moving at that speed. And I know there's a lot of people who are going to agree with me, and there's a lot of people
do.
Oh, yeah, I would say the majority of people agree with me with that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the reasons are? Now, I'm sure there's even people at CIG that agree with that. So I'm wondering what the reasons are that you think that they would have decided to make that still burn fuel while
maybe
at that
they could
cruise
say
speed.
that fuel is burning for your inertial dampeners. I mean, they could say a lot of different things. The idea is that you need to manage your fuel tank.
Right, but you would still need to manage it to go up to that speed anyways, right? So that's what I'm saying is once you're there, I don't think it should be using that speed unless you're trying to get like okay, so for example, you know when you turn you start to lose speed and then you catch back up that. So instead of when you're turning, when you lose that speed, you shouldn't regain that speed, or if you do regain that speed, that's when that boost fuel is used. But if you're just going in a straight line, I don't think it should be necessary to move into decoupled just to be not burning that fuel.
So they gave their answer, which I don't agree with, but they gave their answer, which was that you're in afterburner primed mode. So you boost up.
So it's like
it should take a lot of fuel to get to the top speed, but once you're there, you're primed, it's set, it's good,
okay,
and you're going to but you're still burning fuel. And the reason that they gave is it's a gameplay reason.
Okay, so it's like a pilot light on a fireplace, on an electric fire or on a gas fireplace. It's like a pilot light, and that would make sense. But we also haven't seen. I'm aware of that, and that's why I was wondering if maybe they were using it for some sort of balance. However, them using it as a pilot light does make sense, and we haven't. Or at least I haven't seen, and I know you guys can't talk about it if you have, we haven't seen how much fuel that has used in SEM. If it's so minuscule it's not even noticeable, then it's a non-issue.
Whatever it is, this is going to be rebalanced 1,000
times.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless.
At least. So for me, as a player of Evolve, for that kind of jetpack management, that kind of thruster management is super important in dogfights. If you can go between your standard speed to a super high speed, and that's going to be different from ship to ship, it's super important that they balance that, they make management an issue, they make getting up to that speed an issue, so that makes dogfights significantly more dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I surprise ship, I interdict a ship. Okay, I don't want it to be able to go, I'm a herald. Fuck you, buddy. Just it's done. It's done. It's a herald. I want to be able to. It's a herald. It has 30 seconds to get up to its maximum speed. So I, as my maximum speed with my cruise mode, get up to it a lot quicker. I can manage my boost better. I can do this better. I can catch up to it. There needs to be gameplay for ships to be able to do lots of different things. And that's incredibly hard to balance because there's so much random gameplay. There's interdiction, there's piracy, there's racing, there's all these different things which need to coexist. And you can't, when you balance one, it unbalances the other. It makes the other one different. So CIG have got a crazy kind of thing to balance here.
Crazy.
What were we talking about?
I threw him off. I threw him completely off just by saying that.
It's okay. I remember what my thing is I'm having a drink. Carry on, guys.
But there's one thing that we didn't mention yet, and that's that there is still boost.
Mm-hmm.
So afterburn is your main thrusters, and that is
speed.
Yeah, that is quote unquote boosting your main thrusters and going faster. But then X, if you hit X, that's going to be your boost, and that will.
Guys, X is no longer stop. X is no longer fucking stop your ship. It's now make your ship more agile, which might not necessarily be what you want to do with X. So just bear that in mind.
I've been specifically not using Space Break.
I haven't in forever.
In 2.5 for the reason of preparing myself for 2.6.
I haven't used it in forever. So that is going to actually boost your maneuvering thrusters and your retro thrusters. So shift, afterburn, that's your main your back thrusters, and then X is your maneuvering thrusters. That's the current way that they're thinking right now. And then on RTV, they even mentioned that not everything we want to put into the flight balance updates or whatever are even, are there yet. So the balance is very much happening right now, and it will likely happen through 2.6, maybe after 2.6. into 3.0 and beyond. So a lot of the things that they want to put in, like what they mentioned was a lot of the things that the community doesn't like, they actually have intentions of putting in. And so like we're all on pretty much on the same page.
Let's face it, balance will change even well after the game's released.
Yeah, they're calling it
several years
balance, but
later,
it isn't
rebalancing.
They're calling it balance, but it's an update to how the ships are going to fly. I wouldn't call it necessarily balance in the terms of this ship flies better than that ship. We need to balance.
So for the specifically the
except for in the
flight
cutlasses
model changes, it's a flight model rebalance. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So they're not changing anything in that flight model because that flight model physically is great. The flight model is great. They're just changing the speeds for it. They're changing some bits and bobs in it because they want
the
it to
flight
be more
model
like
technically is staying the same.
Yes,
they want it to be more
the
visceral. They want it to be in your fucking face. They don't want people to be fighting 2 kilometers away from each other. They want you to be able to see those ships.
Yeah,
they
don't you want to see the ship and what you're shooting at?
Blowing bits off that. I mean, they've got the levels of detail there. Why wouldn't you want to see you blowing the thrusters of Vandal? Why wouldn't they want you to see you blow you the cockpit out? You want to be able to snipe that guy in the face. You want to see him, look at him, look him in the eyes, look him in the fucking eyes, and kill him. What am I talking about? Murder, Vandal murder. That's what I'm talking about.
One of the cool things that they also mentioned was like when they were in the racing part that ships will still feel very different. So an M50 and a 350R, they might get the same race number, like lap time, but you're gonna find that you're gonna do it in different ways. So like
this for me is amazing, Twerk, actually, with the racing, because I don't like racing. But what I do like is watching racing.
Yeah.
So
I miss it too.
love the idea that ships might be specifically better at certain races, certain courses, but when you're doing a competitive race, your M50, although might not be the best on the course, might be better than someone's Herald, because on the particular straight, you can stay in front of them. You can do certain parts of that course better than their ship can, and then for the other parts of the course, you can just stay in front of them and just go lol.
No.
Like,
See, I don't
love
even think
competitive racing.
So the idea that I got from it was that, well, the M50 might be better at yawing, while the 350R might be better at pitching.
Different thrust.
Yeah. So you could do the same things. You just do them in different ways. So you can be a 350R pilot, but then get in the M50 and have a totally different experience.
You know what I'm saying? Different angles. So your thrust on your x-axis must be amazing on your M50, but might be shit on your Herald or whatever.
Yep.
So yeah.
So I thought that was a pretty cool little tidbit that they had in there, and yeah, I think that's all.
Well, there is one last thing in here. A little bit of speculation on the ships of 2017.
Okay.
So that's me dropping something in at the end because. I talked to Turk. I talked to Twerk before the podcast.
One more shot.
All right. So I'm going to be AFK for a second, but if you want to talk about that and continue that conversation while I go do that, and then we'll come back and we'll do some questions.
It was more sort of like, what did you expect for the next concept ships? What did you expect from the next flyable ships? You know, obviously we've got that beautiful thing
list.
they gave us. Yeah, they gave us that list, but that list isn't exhaustive, nor is it totally accurate. Because, for example, there was the 85X from 3.1 or 3.2.
Yeah,
is
things
now 2.6. They didn't include ships like the Hull A, B, D, or E. There's loads of stuff they didn't include. All of the reworks aren't included, other than the Cutlass Red and Blue. So there's lots of stuff happening that is going to be slotted in whenever. And all of the Squadron 42 ships. I mean, we've got the Lightning, we've got the military Hornet. There's loads of ships there. We've got all the fucking we've got the Blade. We've got all of those Vandal ships. Like
I mean, when Squadron 42 releases, the amount of ships that are just going to plop into the PU are probably going to be pretty large, right?
Yes.
We'll start seeing
not
the
necessarily
F8
ships,
Lightning.
The smaller ships, definitely.
Yeah, we'll start seeing the F8 Lightning. We'll start seeing the F7A, the reworked Hornet. We'll start seeing maybe reworked Gladiuses or something like that. Because that's what they want to do. We'll start seeing the Vandal ships, like you said, maybe more Xi'an ships. I think what we're going to see a lot more of is the larger ships. After that, what's going to drop into the game? The Idris is going to drop into the game.
Well,
right?
so after 3.0, so we get the low-level rewrite of the network code with 3.0. Okay?
Yes.
I mean, that's the major thing with 3.0, other than
Yep.
planetary landings. Obviously, planetary landings massive, but
Mhm.
it's the low-level network rewrite of the network code. So they're making sure that we can start to play without janky motherfuckers janking around when we're playing Korea, going, "Oh, I've just been killed. What have I been killed by? I can see. Oh, nothing. I've been killed by nothing again at Korea." So we want to be able to have a Star Marine experience. We want to be able to have the experience that you had when you were playing Star Marine Twerk on the live stream in the game. But we also want to be able to have that with ships. We want to be able to have that with capital ships. And we're going to start to get that. As soon as 3.0 comes online, we're going to start to get those super big game mechanics. We're going to start to see maybe capital ships. Maybe we'll start to see Idris in the game as soon as the game can support two of them fighting each other with fighter support, which is a big thing. It's nothing sort of like, well, maybe StarMarine should have thought about this before they started making StarMarine. I'm not sure who speaks like that, but certainly not me. No, it's
That's how I'm gonna picture you talking all the time now.
Oh, please don't.
I thought we could have went one stream without Bored knocking his mic around, but almost. Almost.
To be honest, the fact that I can knock it around and it just returns to its fucking place
It's pretty.
It's microphone. Okay.
He's a salesman, boys.
No, fuck the salesman stuff. Like, well, this is the old one. They've got a new one.
Yeah.
I haven't tried the new one. This one has taken so much abuse from me. It's been run over by my chair. I've trod on it. It's worked from behind monitors, Mars, where like, oh, like I can only barely hear you.
Yeah. Oh, I always forget mine over here. And then
it.
people are like, you sound like you're worse than your tablet. Like, oh yeah. Wrong mic.
Nah.
Let me grab it.
Occasionally, I've done YouTube videos where people have said your mic's clipping, your microphone, or your mic's shit. Okay, this is the shit mic that you've heard, but it's been so far away from me, like it's been like behind my monitor that I thought I was using my professional mic, even when I was editing. Like this mic is amazing, and also, how
You
can I
should
make money?
Bored. From now on, guys, when you talk to Bored, you just have to change his name from BoredGamer to Shell Gamer.
Yeah.
Also, CIG pay me. Is that what we're doing?
You would have to get hired, and then you would be under NDA, and then you can't talk about anything.
Then you wouldn't even be allowed to stream anymore.
That'd be
You're gonna get fired. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna jump into questions. If anybody has any questions, feel free to type in ! question in chat. There's gonna be a link that pops up that Anna will put up there. Click on that and fill out the form. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can click on the link which is below the video. Because I know I always tell Bored to put them there, and then we will get those questions for the next podcast. So I'm gonna jump in here and start. This first question's from Catafor. He says, "Do you think there will?"
Can I go pee?
Go ahead. I don't know why you're asking me.
1 second. I'm done. Carry on. No,
I was gonna say that liquid looked mysterious. So Catafor asks, and I guess I'll ask you, Twerk, do you think there will be an in-game factory to visit, such as an assembly line for a Starfarer, and if someone orders a smaller ship, that you'd be able to see it being built? Do you think that players will be able to transport it from the factory to the planet where the player ordered it, so there's somebody who delivers it to the player, or an NPC that delivers it to the player from the factory, or that you'd have to go to the factory and do that? It would be a lot more like transporting cars on a truck from one city to another, just like they do with factories to dealerships. Or do you think it would just spawn immediately?
So, okay. There was like 400 questions.
I know.
But
they all kind of tie in the same thing.
yeah, so like NPCs will definitely be carrying material back and forth to and from those factories, right? And so will players. But will we be able to see the assembly line? Maybe to some extent, right? On some planets like Bremen. Bremen is a system where Consolidated Outland is made, like the Mustangs are made. Maybe there's a chance that we could see, you can go to the factory and maybe you'll see a little something as part of that like level design, right? But the rest of the questions I don't really remember.
Okay, so do you think that it would be
there
a
was a lot.
mission for a player to transport the ships from the factory to either a dealership or to
Yes.
the players' hangars if they've ordered them, like pre-ordered them,
So,
like in the
probably
game or whatever?
I think that there will be in the economy system that the higher god AI knows. It will understand when ships are being ordered and when ships are being destroyed on insurance. And as a larger level thing, will understand that sometimes player missions need to be created to get materials for those ships.
Right.
I don't think individual cases will be specifically like registered, but I do think like as a greater whole, people that need Idrises produced, they might have to wait a couple of weeks based on the materials coming in, because the greater god AI is gone.
Right.
Well, we're not getting that. We're not getting that iron in.
Mm-hmm.
We're not getting that iron in at the moment, and we're producing missions for it. But the pirates are stealing it all, so we're producing missions for those pirates to be destroyed. Like, destroy these pirates, guys. Otherwise, we're going to have to request our materials from a different system or whatever.
Right.
So I think the greater good AI will have a big purpose for that. I don't think individual cases will make much of a difference. But if 20 people lost an interest in a battle, yeah, it's going to make a fucking huge difference. I mean, that's
Well,
going to be...
I would even say, yes, I agree with that. I don't think that individual people may have as much of an impact on that. However, we know we have dealerships in game, we already have some of those. There's one in our corp right now, right? So I could see that, and we know that the Hull E and the Hull D potentially could carry some of those smaller ships, right, and bring those over. So things like the Consolidated Outlands. Maybe they put out missions continuously.
Absolutely.
And that's how they save money. And that can be done by NPCs and players, where you go, you pick up those ships, and if somebody intercepts you, then, say pirate can intercept those and just, they have a whole bunch of ships now. Or things like that. And I think that would be something that continues to make the world feel lived in. But it doesn't need to be for, say, board-ordered... a Mustang Omega, that doesn't mean that, I need to pick up and deliver this Mustang Omega to him. It could, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it more from the factory to the dealership kind of thing.
That would be madness. I like the idea that a database understands that that's happened. It literally goes, this has happened. But I think the idea of very, very, very micromanagement missions based on that is insanity, and to hype yourself over that would be, well, I mean, maybe it's just unlikely. I mean,
I think the original thing that Source was saying, where there will, like, Consolidated Outland and Aegis and all these companies will likely have missions for you to be that truck that carries, like on the road, the truck that carries all the cars.
Truck.
Yeah, and I really only see that happening, that mass transport like that happening with the smaller ships. Obviously, we know that Idrises aren't going to be produced in the same quantity that an Aurora is produced, or whatever. So it makes sense that, okay, you need to transport this one Idris from point A to point B, and that makes sense. But having the Hull series or whatever other transport ships that come in the future be able to transport those smaller ships or parts of the smaller ships and things like that.
There's no way they're going to deliver an Idris to you either. It's going to be like, would you like to pick up your new Idris on insurance?
Right, but there could be, once again, there could be a mission that the system could generate that says, okay, you need to go pick up an Idris from the factory to deliver it to this warehouse or to this dealership, where one of the other players is waiting for it.
If you've got enough reputation,
exactly,
yeah, I
and
can
meet the requirements, exactly. So thank you so much for the questions. A little longer on the first one than expected, but yeah. John the Bomb asks,
question, though.
First says, great podcast, guys. I listen every week during
Pete.
my daily commute to work. Noobifier did a great job in filling in for Twerk during Thanksgiving. Are there any plans for future guest appearances on the show? Thanks and keep up the great work.
And so, are you asking are there any possible chances that Twerk might not be here and we'll just get someone better?
We'll get other people.
Because me and Saurus, when Twerk's not here, discuss this. Come on, Jack, come on. I'm so. See, this is the reason I drink. Again, say. This wasn't my joke. This was Saurus's joke.
Too funny.
So,
it is something that we are looking at doing. It's something we've been looking at doing a lot.
I prefer to do a whole nother podcast. I love working with you in Twerk on this thing. Like, I'd love to do a fuck Twerk. Come back, you piece of shit. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There he is.
Like, I'd love to do something else, but it has to be different from what we're doing now. This works. This genuinely works. I mean, I can drink bourbon while I fucking talk to you dickheads about Star Citizen. Is that what we're talking about? It's not Stablet 3, is it?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's what we're talking about. The thing is we would love to be able to have spots on where we can bring people on and all three of us could stay on. Right now, the way that everything's happening with the development of the game and stuff like that is we're trying to keep this kind of condensed in the 2 hours, and very often, as you guys are well aware, we go over that. Never have we, not one single episode that I'm aware of, have we gone under that time frame. So we initially only wanted it to be an hour long, remember? Back in the day. And it was something that we couldn't stick to that.
I would like to say that, Soros, you've slowly increased the time from week to week to be an incredibly detrimental thing to my life. I mean, I was expecting 2 hours occasionally, but it's like 3.5 hours sometimes.
And now we start earlier, so I was just conditioning you for even longer.
We're going to continue to the normal time. Fuck you.
But no, it is something we would love to do, and is continuing something we are looking at doing in the future. As you guys have seen, we even have these new focus screens and stuff like that. They're not done yet, but there is always changes and things like that like we want to make to the stream and to the podcast. And we do definitely hear your feedback on bringing on other content creators or other people
devs.
on other devs. And
like Matt Sherman's in the chat all the time. Jeremiah Lee is in the chat all the time.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems is they're at work, right?
Yeah. So being able
the
to
timing of the cast
organize
doesn't
that
help
time with
things
them.
like that also. And that works with the content creators as well. Is this works really well for us? Board and Source do this for a living. I'm a poker dealer, so I work more towards the later end of the week. So it works, but it doesn't work for everybody else.
So sorry, Twerk. Shut the fuck up for a minute. Yeah, can we mute him? I love Twerk so much. I want to make the Twerk do this as his main job, but he's a fucking idiot and he's too cautious. Okay, he's super cautious. So over the next year, I'm not talking about like let's give him £1 million in donations.
And we're not talking like January. Not like
let's make it as a mission for us and the Star Citizen community, as part of my community, as part of anyone else's community that wants to get involved.
This is going to be good.
Let's get to work doing it as his main job. So let's watch his stuff. Let's talk to Twerk. Let's tell him how he can improve. Let's say, Twerk, fuck your fucking casino job. Get into streaming. He doesn't have to just be Star Citizen, because he does a good stream on Mondays where he looks at different games. I mean, last game was pretty corny. Lol. But it was a good laugh. And so I wouldn't do any form of streaming without Twerk. I wouldn't be part of a Star Citizen community without Twerk and Saurus. I saw them when I first started and doing any form of Star Citizen content. I went, look at those fucking guys. They've got their fucking, like, literally their little talons wrapped around the market. And I was like, now I can become a viewer. I'm them.
You can get a vampire emote in there. I saw that new vampire emote, by the way.
Yeah, but
It's so ridiculous.
Me and Saurus, very much so. We're lucky to have our communities, as is clearly Twerk. But Twerk doesn't realise yet that it can safely become a job role. It can safely make you enough money to live on. And he is worried. He's the most cautious, sensibly cautious of us, and it is it's a sensible thing to act. I'm not saying you're incorrect from doing it, but I am saying that I would very much like you to do it as your full-time job, and that would make my life easier because I'd have someone to talk to every day at the same time that I work.
Right?
Like,
I could, same thing, right? Like
I don't know if Saurus actually knows. I might have talked to you about this. I kind of said it on stream. I think it was Sunday, where I was just like, I kind of just had an epiphany. Like, fuck this. I don't want to deal poker anymore. I hate it, and
nobody from work is watching this right now, right?
I don't care if they are. If my boss is, he knows I hate dealing poker. Like, for fuck's sake, everybody knows. Everybody in my job knows I hate dealing.
It's from the heart. If it's from the heart and it's true, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I talked to the chat and I said, I keep putting myself in a position to not succeed, and I keep doing things to say, don't subscribe. It doesn't matter. Go subscribe to these guys. That type of thing. Well, I'm gonna stop. It's not like I'm not gonna stop doing that. Like, obviously, I want people to subscribe to Bored and Saurus and Matauchi and go, Patreons and all that
to
stuff.
Subscribe to what you said at the beginning to Bored.
Yeah, but I'm gonna stop putting myself in a position not to succeed. I'm still gonna be very cautious, and that's just me, and that's how I'm always gonna be.
There is nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing to have, work.
Yeah,
that's a good thing to have.
So I won't take the risks.
I just want to point out. Oh no, sorry. Finish.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I'm done. Like, I won't take the risks that you guys took. Those risks paid off for you guys, and that was awesome. And I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you. But it's not part of my.
Do you know my story, Twerk? Do you know my story?
Hold on, let Saurus go.
I just want to point out that you guys always blame me for these podcasts going super long. We got through 2 questions.
I know, this is Bored's bourbon. We can only.
My bourbon is also an issue here, but me and Twerk, we don't understand the concept of time because normally for us this is the precast. We normally we're here until like, I don't know, another 3 hours, aren't we?
Yeah.
So it's a bit weird for us.
Yeah. I'm also here for those times, believe it or not.
Our
next question from our next question from Mud is: with the release of Squadron 42 to be before Star Citizen Persistent Universe release, do you think that Squadron 42 will lock in elements of gameplay, i.e. the flight model, so they cannot be changed later? As any changes made to the Star Citizen Persistent Universe after Squadron 42 release would then be different between the 2 releases. So basically, what he's saying is with the
we understand.
Okay.
We're not retarded.
All right.
Just deal with it. Just deal with it. We understand.
Is done.
I'm done.
You're savage today.
Yeah.
I'm savage.
Bored is
what
right.
If the chat didn't understand? What if the chat didn't understand? That's what Saurus was trying to do. He was trying to explain to the chat in case they didn't understand.
They're all mature adults, okay? As I said to you earlier, everyone's a mature adult.
Type 1 in chat if Bored is your spirit animal.
He's a fucking savage today.
I've realised I don't want Saurus to be the edgy one. I want to fucking be the edgy one.
I want to be the drummer, man. I love the drums.
Twerk, you're not allowed to be the edgy one. Oh, look at me. I get invited to all the studios. Maybe I want to get invited to America. Maybe I want to go and have fun with all the devs. Oh, look at me. I'm having fun with the devs. Oh, you can't come. Fuck you guys. I'm on strike.
I don't think I'm seeing enough ones in chat.
I'm drinking some bourbon. Awesome. What is it? What do we call this? Cocaine. I'm drinking some cocaine. Good job.
Liquid.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was
Twerk.
Yeah.
In regards to the question, with the Squadron 42 planning on coming out before Star Citizen, with all of the gameplay mechanics in Squadron 42 having to be finalized before going into the Persistent Universe, how do you think they're going to make that work?
I think, okay, so number one, you can always still patch a single-player game, right?
Right.
So if they make changes, they can always patch it, and those changes come into Squadron. I think more... Okay, how I kind of am getting it is, I think more systems in the PU need to get locked down in order for Squadron 42 to
Right,
get
and
released.
that's what he's saying.
Yeah, so things like I thought he was okay, yeah. But yeah, I think we're saying the same thing.
I'm going to kind of cut you off because
they haven't made change to weapons or
Bored's
flight
going to cut you off.
They don't necessarily need to change them in Squadron 42.
Okay, so I think a lot of people are worried about, oh, mining and hauling's not in and all of this other stuff. Squadron 42 is going to be combat. It's going to be your military role, so there's a lot of things that aren't necessary for it to come in. There are some things. I mean, I imagine like the different, like obviously turrets will need to be finished. The different stations will need to be finished, right? All the FPS mechanics and fighting mechanics are going to need to be done. But outside of that, they can sort of, all the like the other mechanics like mining and stuff like that. I don't think you'll be doing. So
it might be in the background, so they can maybe fake it.
They can fake it in the background, but they don't need to implement those mechanics for the player to do it in Squadron 42.
They can have it as a visual.
Going to be,
they can have an asteroid being destroyed by like another ship. I mean, that's mining.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So need to actually be giving asteroid money to their
a lot of what we're going to be seeing is just the combat stuff in Squadron 42. So we need the combat stuff done, and that's about it. Our next question from Rider of the Blue One says, will we be able to have a tool for making a custom touch display with hotkeys for a tablet or touch display? I imagine a Star Trek style touchscreen for your PC rig to play Star Citizen.
Don't they have the ROCAT display?
They do.
Like those already work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could do it now. They're called ROCAT. What are they called? Do any of you guys know? I don't know the name of them, but they're from ROCAT.
I think I use it. I can't fucking even think of the name.
Yeah.
I might have been drinking.
I'm
under NDA.
ROCAT Power Grid is what
Power
it's
Grid. Yes. Thank you.
Power Grid is actually a really fucking good tool for anyone that plays any form of like flight sim. As well, because it just gives you access to lots of bullshit.
You know what I'm thinking would be really cool for that, especially, and I'm thinking just for that, is the new camera system. If you have that separate and key bound to their own unique keys, or even if you got like another keypad thing specifically for that, then yeah, you could free up your keypad for other things.
Well, I assume that with those camera those hotkeys, that you could just bind them to other keys. And I assume that there's other stuff that I'd want from those hotkeys that you've also described, as well as like being able to entirely turn off the HUD. So in 2.5 at the moment, so we're flying around in fighting Vandal, yeah, or on PvP. We can't turn off the entire HUD. Why? I mean, that's really fucking annoying. I don't want the fucking timer. I don't want the fact that there's loads of other bullshit around the screen. I want to capture some cool gameplay. So that needs to be able to be turn-offable. So hopefully they do that with 2.6, and if not with 2.6, in some form of interim patch or 3.0.
Or later, I mean, eventually, you know.
Yeah, it's just, so that's
it's not necessarily that important.
It's beneficial to CIG to do them earlier rather than later. It's content creator stuff, isn't it? So it's sort of like they want us to make cool content because we can just make it.
Give us the tools to do so.
Yeah.
Give us the tools to make cool content.
The best of the ability, I guess. Yeah. Zim. Now, this question, I'm going to preface here. Normally with something like this, I'm going to start asking for sources just so we aren't answering questions that are nothing. So he asks, I heard hacking with a Herald really isn't a thing anymore. Or at least not how it originally was suggested.
They were talking about this in my chat also, but I haven't heard this yet.
I don't know this either. The only thing that I am aware of is that when the Herald comes in, the mechanics for the Herald aren't in and ready. So we're either hacking or info running and all of that stuff. It's just going to be like a normal ship that flies around and can pew pew a little bit. So
what was elaborated upon, actually it wasn't elaborated upon, but it was sort of like insinuated, was that the Herald will have some more science uses as a ship.
Right.
Nothing more than that. I mean,
yeah, I don't remember,
and maybe some science uses.
hearing that it wouldn't have hacking anymore. But he goes
Hacking
on
in
to
the
say
first place.
he goes
Where
on.
did you hear hacking in the first place?
He goes on, not remote ranged hacking, but more of a fast ship to transport physical data you obtain. I'm guessing why the Herald is also now a research ship. They never said it was a research ship. They said that would be an additional thing. So I think that's what is happening. I think he's confusing that it's not an info run anymore, and that it's now just a research ship.
Well,
It's
maybe. I mean,
still
he might just
an
be
info.
having a totally different viewpoint from what we
Right.
have as ships.
Right.
I mean, and reasonably so. I mean,
Do you know why that changed and how data will work? So, from what I understand, and I'm sure Matt Sherman could correct me if I'm wrong,
I hope he's here for this.
the Herald is still primarily an info running ship. It will just have the ability to do other stuff as well, like research, or smuggling or whatever, as well. So that's my understanding of it. I could be wrong. I may have missed something somewhere, but
and sometimes and quite often we do. And make that aware of people. We're not.
Yeah, it's just I haven't heard this. I haven't seen it
Yeah.
anywhere official, but
No, neither have I. I mean, especially this. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't really heard of this before, other than
Because
Saurus mentioning it a couple of times.
it's an info running ship that's supposed to have some ability to do some hacking.
Maybe
Right.
with modules. Maybe. I mean, we know it's going to be a drag racer. We know it's sort of like an info runner, but we don't really know the mechanics other than that. I don't 100% know that CIG know how those mechanics are going to work either. They might have them semi-fleshed out, but they're not going to know how they fucking work in gameplay, are they? Because fucking not.
Until they start implementing info running and then seeing the roadblocks or this doesn't really work and this doesn't fit with that,
Even when they've got them nailed down, they go to the Evocati. The Evocati will then go, we're going to break the fuck out of this with a
or this is shit, we don't like this,
I mean, that's what the Evocati does. The Evocati is a mace. The Evocati smashes everything you thought about stuff and makes it better. Deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to judge how systems are or aren't going to work or are or aren't going to change without them being put in the game. So until we have more solid information on that, we can't say it's changing from what they've talked about it previously.
What's changing?
Unless they've specifically said.
If you think something's changing, it's probably changing. If you don't think it's changing, it's probably still changing.
Yeah.
If it's not in the game, it's probably changing.
If it's in the game, it's probably changing.
Even when we get to like beta or beta, as you incorrectly call it, it's still probably going to change. I mean, genuinely. I mean, we're at this kind of level where people are like, oh, the flight balance is wrong. Oh, I don't like the way this ship flies. Well, you're allowed to not like the way that ship flies, and that's fine. But having I hate CIG because this ship doesn't fly the way I wanted it, that's me stabbing CIG in the heart, is incorrect. Because you need to be able to absorb all of this and give them feedback based on how it should work and why it should work. Not just, I hate the fact that the Cutlass Black is now not the ship that does everything I want it to.
Yeah.
For $100. And why did you pay $100 for that ship? It could do everything. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thanks,
I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
Neither am I, but it's all good.
Make sure you're drinking water too. Aragoth, I don't want you to be hungover tomorrow. Firstly, thank you for your content. I visit all of your channels when I can. His question is, what are you looking forward to most? Getting 2.6 released or seeing the 3.0 schedule report?
2.6 release.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm always looking at whatever is the closest, for sure.
No, I mean,
the schedule report, though. I mean, it's literally text on a screen.
Although the schedule report is really important. I really do like...
But it's text on a screen versus 2.6.
Yeah.
I can make 30 videos based on that text on the screen. So it's very different.
Well, guess what, buddy? You're probably going to have to, so...
No.
It's probably going to be a while, right?
So this podcast has taught me something. I can just fucking leave the Evocati. And you don't have to worry about it. So, in fact, unless that stuff is sorted out pretty soon, I will just fucking leave the Avocado. I'll do anything I fucking want to do. I mean, I might do Elite Dangerous. I might do Civ 8. I mean, you don't even know about Civ 8. I can't talk about it because of NDA.
Can you remind me next time that Borg gets drunk, I need to get drunk with him?
Exactly. Like, why wouldn't you tell us that you're drinking and we could have just done a drunk stream? This would have been the perfect drunk stream, right? Like, because it really isn't that much content. You should have told us you were going to drink. We would have all drank. It would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Huh?
Wait, right? What?
I don't know what you just said.
This is our normal redacted stream. I don't see
this
any reason for us not to get fucking wasted while doing it. Because
Just let us start drinking until we went live. I have fucking 6 beers in the fridge. I could have drank those.
It's too late.
Right.
It's too late.
right,
Now.
can you mute Twerk? Twerk, go get your fucking alcohol. Otherwise, we're not going to listen to you anymore.
He also continues.
Mute that wand. I was going to say the C word, but I appreciate that Americans do not like it.
No.
And that word is
Aragoff also goes on to say, also a cheeky one from the last podcast, I think we can all agree that the Dragonfly is complete and ready, but CIG won't release it until Planetary Landings. Yes, that's correct. They said they didn't want to release it.
A different view from me. That I think that ships that are getting ready will get released earlier than stated, just because they're ready.
Right. But I think like the Dragonfly, for example, is done. I imagine the Dragonfly is 100% done. But it is going to be releasing with 3.0 because its primary use is going to be on planets. And he says thanks for your time.
I'm a swan.
Fucking bored.
Fuck.
Sometimes I wish I could mute people on here.
Otherwise, it makes me look weird.
I think it's a little late for that. We're way past that.